What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Sibila Yuri, and I'm excited to be back and do another video for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you watch, like, and subscribe. So in this video, as the title says, I'm going to talk about life as a Kenyan immigrant in the United States. So I've been in the United States for 7 months now. I came here last year December, so it's like 8 months now, and I'm gonna give my views according to the 8 months I've been here. So maybe my views are gonna change, but right now I'm gonna give you my views of the culture shocks and everything I experienced as an immigrant in the United States. So I have my notebook right here. I wrote some stuff down, and I'm gonna share all this juicy stuff with you guys. So make sure you watch the video till the end. So my first biggest issue is people thinking that Africa or Kenya is underdeveloped and like we have poor infrastructure and we're illiterate, we don't know stuff. And that thing really pissed me off because people just once they know you're from Africa or you're from Kenya, they just immediately switch and be like, nah, they don't know stuff, they don't know, like I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya, and it's so developed. Like even in the villages we got towns, and like they do really good. So people are thinking that it's like really just shitty and like, oh, you come from Africa, like people have this mentality that like we don't know stuff. And Africans are so smart. We are just doing really good. I even see my friends like what are you talking about? Like that really pissed me off. And yeah, I try to do my best and be my best in every place that I am, and just like put myself in a good position and not be judged. But people have this big mentality, and once they hear like an accent, they switch off, like they don't know what you're talking about, and that really pissed me off. So yeah. But just to add on that, some people are really sweet, and once they hear an accent, they will be like interested to know where you're from. They want to be like, what language do you speak? I mean, they be like, I like your hair and stuff. So that is like, some people are really nice and they would want to know more about your culture, and that's the good side of it. So not everyone does that. So there's a good side to being Kenyan and being African and having a second language and having a good culture. And yeah. Okay, so the next thing on my list is neighbors and making friends and stuff. I feel like it's really hard to make friends here as compared to Kenya, because like in Kenya it was really easy to just talk to people and stuff, but here there's this thing like where there's more individualism and everyone's like in their own little bubble and they don't want to break it, and like that makes it really hard to socialize and make friends. And this even applies to neighbors. Like neighbors are not so close like Kenyan neighbors. Like you would really just go to your neighbor and ask for a matchbox. You can't do that right here. So like people are just like in their own bubble. They do their stuff like by themselves. Like, don't mess with me. Like it's just, I don't know, like in Africa or in Kenya where I grew up, like people are so, it's like a community. We have these community groups. People have events, they invite their neighbors, they have stuff going on, and they just like talk to each other. But here it's you and yourself. And this even affects like when you're in campus and trying to make friends. Like everyone is on their cell phones, everyone's like trying to just do stuff on their own. They have their own class schedules, they go for it and they just like done, go back home. So you really have to do like big stuff. Like you really have to go out of your way to like make a friend or meet new people. So that's a really big thing for me. It's really hard compared to Kenya. And just to like add on that point, that the fact that everyone is in their own bubble and individualism is like really high, you get to be more independent. Like most Africans, when they come here, they tend to become more independent. You're able to function by yourself. You can go for meetings, you can go to class, go to work. Like you can literally manage yourself, because like you in a place where nobody cares, it's just you, and it's like your mindset just changed and you start working differently. And that's like another point. Like you just like your view of life becomes different, and you become more independent, more hardworking. And this is low-key, I low-key think that when Africans come here and they start doing better when, like, compared to when they're in Kenya, I think that's like a big cause, because once you come here, your mindset changes. You like just reason differently, you work differently, and you just like strive for the best. And you, every time you think as an immigrant, life is different from immigrants. We don't face the same life as citizens. So that thing just runs you, and you just like your mindset changes, and like you feel these people literally just start working harder when they get here. And I think that's one of the big reasons. Yeah, basically, because in Kenya, life is more of a community. Like, you just keep asking and asking and asking. But here, you gotta get a schedule, you gotta be planned, you don't joke around, you know. So the next point is there is no corruption here. In Kenya, many people are used to corrupting their way out. You bribe your way out, you pay money, you're free to go. You pay money, you get fast in the line, you do stuff. In the United States, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, you gotta do the right thing. So you can't overspeed and pay yourself off. You gotta go to court and do stuff. It's gonna be crazy. So that's a really big thing, and you just have to adjust to it, because the system is tough here. Ain't no jokes like in Kenya. Like, you just pay yourself off, and many Africans get affected by this because you just want to be reckless and play around, but they don't play here. You gotta follow the rules. So yeah. So the next thing on my list is competition and comparing each other in Kenya. In Kenya, there is so much competition, so much comparison. Everyone is comparing themselves to other people. Like, it's just crazy. Like, everyone is involved in your life. Even your aunties are involved in your life. Like, it's like your neighbors' aunties are just like I feel like in the United States, nobody gives an F. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your life. And that's kind of a good thing, but it could be a bad thing. But let's go for the pros, okay? Like, I feel like you could literally do wherever you want. You could walk out of this house looking crazy and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's following up on your life. Nobody's trying to see the teeny bits messes that you're making. And that's just like, this is America. Nobody cares. But in Kenya, you want to step outside with that mini skirt, you want to step outside with that crop top, they gonna talk. Girl, they gonna talk. And that's like, people mind their own business here, and I like that. Like, mind your own business. Mostly, I feel like when someone chooses to do something, they thought about it and they did it for themselves. So you should let them do what they want. And that's just me saying it. Like, I don't think people should be really involved into people's stuff. Like, in Kenya, like, people are just like, she went to this school, she's here, she's like, just stop. Like, and that's like a really big difference. Like, here you could literally just go crazy. You could go for like even like in, maybe you want to get food in school, and like it's like maybe a free food day, and then you want to go for a second round, third round. Nobody cares. You can go for a sixth round. Like, in Canada, people will be like, hey, we are nakula sana, we are like, people will just like pay attention to details they shouldn't be paying attention to, and this really pisses me off. And like, I'm talking about this because like, this is a really big difference. Like, here nobody freaking cares. Actually, another thing is like, I could like have maybe my hair hanging out a little bit, and I'll just be like walking and nobody just cares. But in Kenya, they gonna talk. It's just, this applies to so many things. Like, people pay attention to things they shouldn't be paying attention to in Kenya, and here people just don't care, and I like that. But also the bad side of it is like, if they don't care, you might be looking crazy and they can't even tell you like to, you know, because you would be getting fat and looking crazy, but people just be like, you okay, they never tell you you're fat. But African moms, ukikula unone, they'll be like, you gotta stop eating. But here they don't tell you, and that's the bad side of it, because you're just gonna explode and they don't tell you. So yeah. So the next thing on my list is you need a card. You need a card to swipe. Like in Kenya, you easily use cash to pay for stuff, but here, like, you need to have a card. Like most of the places you go to, they just need you to swipe to pay. So that was the biggest difference for me, because I had to get a credit card and you need to have a bank account. I didn't even have one in Kenya, so yeah, you need to know how to swipe. And yeah, and I think sometimes you would get to places you don't know how to swipe. It's like a different system. You just ask. Like most of the times I just like I've never used this before. How can I use it? And they just help me out. Just yeah, don't be too proud of yourself. Just ask. Yeah, and another thing is they have so much trust. Like you literally go to a store and they don't even have someone like watching the store. I don't even know how to say this, but like there's not so much watching, like what you doing, like okay, this part is crazy. Okay, so what I mean is like, okay, I'm gonna put this part. What I mean is that like there is self checkout, like where after you buy stuff you can just pay themselves out, like you can pay and then just check yourself out. So they have that much trust that you're not gonna not check out some stuff. Yeah, so that's crazy. If they do that in Kenya, I know it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, that happens, and people are really good. Like I feel like once you get into trouble, like you get caught shoplifting or doing anything, but it's easy to get into trouble. Like you just like lose your life, go to jail, all these things. So people try to be in the best way possible, in their best, put themselves in their best position. I don't know how to say it, but you know what I mean. Like in their best way. Okay, another thing is life is so freaking expensive in the United States. Like it's so expensive. Like you see people having these good figures, they be earning good money when you convert them to Kenyan money. But here, the reality is that all the money goes to your rent, all the money goes to your car bills, and it's so crazy. You see people having cars, but they have to pay monthly for this car. You can easily just get a car, but then you have to start paying monthly for the car, and you would pay forever. And you could get an iPhone 15, like really look bougie and all that, but you're paying monthly for the phone. So I can literally just walk to a store, get a phone, and start paying monthly for it. So any person can own an iPhone 16, even the new one, iPhone 16. So don't be looking at people and be like, oh, she's living the best life. You can own anything here. But the thing is that once you're gonna be having all your bills going to your phone bill, car bill, you're paying your rent, and rent is so expensive. And yeah, so you can easily live a fake life in the United States. So don't look at people and be like, oh my god, I wish that was me. They're in debt. They're struggling to pay. And if you fail to pay, you could end up in the streets and be homeless. Like, it's that crazy. So don't look at people and be like, oh, people are going through stuff. And people have to work shift after shift after shift to pay this crazy amount of money. And it's getting crazier and crazier. Life is getting harder. Is inflation. Taxes are really, really high. Like, every stuff you buy has a tax. And life is really expensive here. So if you don't know how to keep up, you could easily end up homeless. I feel like it's easier to be homeless in the United States than being homeless in Kenya, and that's just my view. So another thing is the bus system. The buses here are way better than the Kenyan buses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm the only one in the bus. It's so empty, so clean, so nice. You just have to swipe your card to pay, like it's like $1 a ride, and it's a pretty convenient system. But sometimes you would need a car because buses don't go to certain places. But it's pretty much convenient. Like, the bus is just good. It has a time schedule, so you gotta keep up with the bus time schedule. It's on your phone. You can always find it. And yeah, but at some point a car is a necessity. That's why everyone gets a car when they get here. But you can easily keep up with the buses, like I am. I'm not getting no car. Yeah, yeah, I feel like you can manage with the buses. It's pretty convenient, it's pretty clean, it's like fancy. They don't do crazy stuff like I was seeing in Kenya. So yeah. So another thing, I should have started with this one. It's adapting to American food. Mmm. These people be putting cheese on every single thing. Like everything has cheese on it. And there's not one type of cheese. There's not two type of cheese. There's not three. It's a million types of cheeses. And you gotta get used to every single type of cheese, which is crazy. At this moment, I can say I'm okay with every type of cheese, but I had to survive to get here. At first, it was really hard to eat some meals because of the cheese and the cheesy. Even like the French fries, you eat them with cheese, like cheese, 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 cheese. Everywhere it's just cheese. And right now, I really like American food, but I still miss my ugali. I want to have it every single time when I get the chance. Ugali and beef stew. That's my favorite still. But American food is good now, and I'm adapting to it. I'm getting used to it, but I still hate mac and cheese. I'm not afraid to say that I don't like it, but I love a lot of different American food. Yeah, they are good, but it's really hard to get used to the cheese. Next thing is education. I don't know what made people say on social media. I don't know wherever you guys be going, and everyone's just like, education is easier in the United States compared to Kenya. Like it's way easier. You just easily get your A's. What you saying, bro? Anyway, I kind of get the point in that, but there's also the other side, which is not right, because you gotta read and study and do what you gotta do to get that freaking 4.0. But okay, so the right part to it is that the high school part of the United States, the high school and the primary and all that, it's pretty easy. I feel like they don't go crazy like our Kenyan high schools. Like I feel like our high schools, I don't want to go back there. It was hell. It was really hell. I don't want to think of it. But high schools here are pretty chill, not crazy. They don't study crazy stuff. They don't go crazy. And I agree. But when you come to college and universities, like it's the same thing. You have to freaking study. You have to go for your books. You gotta do the assignments. If you don't study, you fail. And a 4.0 is 100% or 99%. If you get a 76%, that's an E. That's like a 1.2, and the highest is 4.0 GPA. So the ranking here is pretty crazy too, because you gotta keep up. If you wanna get the 4.0, which is the highest, you have to get a 90, 98, 99, or 100%. That's 4.0. If you get a 90%, you already get a 3.9, and it starts going from 3.8 is 89% is 3.8, 88% is 3.7, and that's how fast it goes. Once you get to an 80%, you're at 2.9 GPA, and you don't want to get that. So it's pretty tough to just keep up with the 4.0 GPA. You have to keep up with the assignment, keep up with the studying, and the assignments are weekly, some are daily, so it's not easy here. So I don't want to hear you guys saying that. And a big thing is when you come here, you kind of take it seriously, because I hear people kind of be like, oh, the exam, they're just talking about the way they've not been in school for a while. Like Kenyan campuses, there's they just be going crazy. Here, you don't want to fail. Unaanzaje fail in a foreign country? How do you do that? I feel like it's pretty hard, but once you keep up, it's easy. But you have to put some effort. There is effort that is needed, and yeah. And just to add on the education thing, you have to be confident because you are smarter than them. Every single time we learn a lot of stuff in high school, so you are at a higher advantage than them. So you have to just be confident, because they are always so overconfident. Some will be so overconfident answering stuff, but you are the real G. You know the real stuff. So just speak up without accent and just go crazy, because you know the right stuff. And Yeah, that's all I can say. You know. Okay, so the next thing is your hair. You need to learn how to do your hair, learn how to do your own braids, and you're gonna have a hair frustrations. It's crazy. It's easy to pay a few dollars, a few Kenyan shillings, and get your hair done in Kenya. But here, it's like $400 to do braids. That's a whole land in Kenya, bro. I mean, who's paying that? So you have to learn how to do your hair, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about hair. And you just have to look great. Another thing is scheduling meetups. You'll have to schedule meetups with your family, your friends. Like every time you wanna meet up with someone, like you have to like schedule it, plan it, and it's just so much. Like in Kenya, people just show up at your house and like, we want to get rain, cook for us. Okay, here you have to plan it. Someone doesn't just show up to your house, and saddest thing, yeah. Okay, another thing, as a Christian girl, is that I realized once you come here, you get more closer to God. Cause in Kenya, I feel like this is my experience. In Kenya, I was just a church goer. I used to just go to church for my family, like it was just that way. But once you come here, it's really hard to get like a church that really just like speaks to you, that sings the African good music, and you also get to some point where it's like just you and yourself, and you just get to a point where you just have your own personal connection. You get closer to God, you get to understand God more in your own perspective, and I feel like that's really something that happened to me. Like I literally just had to be in my own personal relationship, just me and my God, and it's been amazing. Trust me, it's been amazing. And you guys, it's good to be closer to God. It's good to be prayerful. It's good to have a godly life. It's amazing. Okay, another thing that I want to add is, like, Africans, like, we just say stuff recklessly. Like we just like yep. But in the United States, you like have to pay attention in everything that you say, because people easily get offended with stuff. Like there's these controversial topics. Like one of the things is like guns are legal in the United States. So I know in Africa we wouldn't agree to that, but here people take that thing like it's a sensitive topic. It's controversial. You don't just like take and be like, oh, take away the guns. You just don't say that. Like that's a really controversial topic, and I think Americans, like most conversations, you have to really know what you're saying and just don't say what you're not supposed to say. Another thing is the LGBTQ. In Kenya or in Africa, it's not allowed, but here people have pronouns that they want to be referred to, and you don't want to mess up with that. There's the universal term, which is they stroke them, and you have to get used to not just referring to anybody as any pronoun that you don't know about. So you have to respect people. People easily get offended, and you don't want to mess up with people and get in trouble. So that's one thing that I've learned to know. I read the audience, read the room, and speak when I have to speak, and speak the right stuff, or just shut up. Yeah, that's what I do, just shut up. Another thing is many people, like the people having pets as kids. I am not a fan of pets, but I would take a dog if you give it to me for free and take care of it and feed it. I would take it. But people are so in love with kids. Some people wouldn't have kids, but they have pets, and they like consider them as kids, and they really take care of them. They pet them, they all that stuff. And yeah, it is like people will be like just talking about their pet, and you're like paying attention. They're like, oh my god, isn't she so cute? And you realize it's a dog. You thought it was a real person. So that's how crazy it gets. And yeah, I heard someone shouting outside, but it's good. So another thing is Africans have this mindset that white people are rich, and trust me guys, we got poor white people, and it's crazy. People go through stuff, and yeah. So I feel like there's this thing in Africa or in Kenya where people just want to date white people to get rich, but these people ain't no rich. Like it's just like in Kenya, we have rich and we have poor, so it's the same thing. So there's this mentality that the color, once someone is white, they are freaking rich, and so yeah, so not every white person is rich, not everyone is, some are going through stuff, some have mental health issues, some are shitty, just like some black people, like it's just the same thing. Like there's this saying that we just put them like on the top. Don't do that. They don't. Like when they come to Kenya, everyone's like, why white people, white people? No, they just like us. Maybe they don't like us, but they just like us. They're just like everybody. So don't like worship them or like put them on the top. They're just like us. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to say, I never knew there was like races like before I came here. Like I just knew there was black, which is like me, and then there was white. But when I came here, there's like white, there's Mexican, there's Latin. Okay, Latinos are Mexican. There's Asian, and there's what. And these other nationalities, they could experience racism as much as black people do. Like they have their own form of discrimination. They're known for something. So, like yeah, Mexicans like are immigrants in the United States, and then Asians are also immigrants, and some face racism too. So there's just different races. We have Pacific Islanders, we have Hawaiians, and yeah, there's different crazy races that I got to learn more about races when I came here. And even black people, we have black people from the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from Haiti, from St. Lucia's, from South America. So you might be black, but someone's gonna be, where are you from? I'm like, duh, Africa. But yeah, it's crazy. There's different black people, different white people, and yeah. Okay, another thing I'll say is Americans are so picky and some are so entitled, and that's something that Africans don't have. We take what is there. Like, give it to me. If that's what we have, I'ma take it. But like, they really pick up, like, I don't do that. Yada yada, and it's crazy. And there's a lot of like exceptions here. There's like a lot of things. I don't know how to call this, but it's just like someone is gluten, they can take gluten, some can take. We have vegans, we have vegetarians, we have pescatarians. Like there's a lot of like groups of people. I can't eat this in my food, I can't eat this, I can't like there's just a lot of that. And it's like, eat what you have. Like people are super hungry somewhere. So yeah, we don't have that in Kenya. People take what we take what we have, man. Like we are surviving, and people here just are so entitled to be like, I don't eat that, I don't eat that, I don't eat that, and it's freaking crazy. Okay, another thing that has happened to me is just for myself, is people feeling like I owe them something, and they keep texting me. They're like, I want to do business with you, can you send me some money? Okay, I'll let you guys know that I am a student and I'm trying to study, and I am so broke and I am literally surviving. So please don't ask me about business and asking me to sign you guys up to some stuff, like some apps. Sign me up. I don't know how to do that. I honestly don't know. And also, I can give you information. If you want to come to the United States, I can give you the tips of how I came here. I can help you out and do stuff. If I know any information, I can help. But if I don't, I don't. And that is it. And I cannot sign up to some certain things that is not safe for me. I just can't go on signing up to some website that I gonna affect me. So yeah, but I'm happy to help. So I can take you guys' text. You can text me whenever you need to know anything about traveling to the United States, about visa and stuff. And yeah, I'll be so glad to help. Thank you guys for watching. So that was all for today. I'll definitely do a part 2 if there's something that I missed out and I want to share again. And I want to do more videos about my culture shocks, crazy stuff that I've experienced here. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And be nice. Just comment something good if you like the video, and have a good day. Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not